Hello guys, my name is Kenton Park, and this is a series where we go through the book of Proverbs. If you were following my series earlier this year, then sorry for the delay. It's been a rough year. So, where we left off was in Proverbs 3, around verse 12, and so we're going to be picking up straight from there. Again, the book of Proverbs is a collection of wise sayings collected by their wise king, King Solomon, the son of King David. He collected this book of sayings and proverbs of the ancient Israeli culture and put them together in this collection. So without further ado, let's dive in. Proverbs 3, verses 13 through 35. How blessed is the man who finds wisdom, and the man who gains understanding, for its profit is better than the profit of silver, and its gain than fine gold. She is more precious than jewels, and nothing you desire compares with her. Long life are in her right hands, and in her left hands are riches and honor. Her ways are pleasant ways, and all her paths are peace. She is a tree of life to those who take hold of her, and happy are all them who hold her fast. The Lord by wisdom founded the earth, and by understanding he established the heavens. By his knowledge the deeps were broken up, and the skies dripped with dew. My son, let them not depart from your sight. Keep sound wisdom and discretion, so they will be life to your soul and adornment to your neck. Then you will walk in your way securely, and your foot will not stumble. When you lie down, you will not be afraid, and when you lie down, your sleep will be sweet. Do not be afraid of sudden fear, nor the onslaught of the wicked when it comes. For the Lord will be your confidence, and will keep your foot from being caught. Do not withhold good to those to whom it is due, when it is in your power to do so. Do not say to your neighbor, "Go and come back, and tomorrow I will give it," when you have it with you. Do not devise harm against your neighbor while he lives securely beside you. Do not contend with a man without cause, if he has done you no harm. Do not envy the man of violence, and do not choose any of his ways. For the crooked man is an abomination to the Lord, but he is intimate with the upright. The curse of the Lord is on the house of the wicked, but he blesses the dwelling of the righteous. Though he scoffs at the scoffer, yet he gives grace to the afflicted. The wise will inherit honor, but fools display dishonor. Now this passage is divided up into 4 different sections. The first one is the blessings of wisdom. Already multiple times in this book we've gone through the blessings of wisdom and the value of having wisdom. Verses 13 through 18 is another collection of blessings. Let's go through them. Verse 13, how blessed is the man who finds wisdom and the man who gains understanding. The first blessing is blessings themselves. This is a case where the Hebrew has some interesting context. The word here for blessing is ashri, and it is different from the general word that is baruch. Baruch is the verb form, the just general bless you type form. But ashri is more of an interjection. It's more of a statement of a, oh joy type thing. But there are other differences. Baruch more pertains to actual physical blessings, whereas ashri more pertains to a heartful blessing. It is not specifically about material good, it is about a cheerful, happy heart. You can see the same word used quite regularly throughout Scripture. Psalms 1:1, for example. How blessed is the man who does not walk in the counsel of the wicked, nor stand in the path of sinners, nor sit in the seat of scoffers. Again, that term, how blessed, ashri, and it's referring to the person who holds himself back from this wicked lifestyle. It goes on in verse 2, but his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law he meditates day and night. Couple things, delight in the Lord, specifically the law of the Lord. Now let's go over to Psalm 119, which has a very similar concept. How blessed, or ashri, are those whose way is blameless, who walk in the law of the Lord. How blessed, ashri, are those who observe his testimonies, who seek him with all their heart. Again, you've got this concept of being blameless, abstraining from evil, and also delighting in the law of the Lord. This word ashri is used a lot. But another place that is used in the Hebrew translation is in Matthew 5. How blessed are the poor in spirit. Ashri. Ashri are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of God. Ashri, how blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted. How blessed are the gentle, for they shall inherit the earth. How blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be satisfied. How blessed are the merciful, for they shall receive mercy. How blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. How blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called sons of God. So this concept of ashri is not about material blessings. It's about a joyful heart that delights in God. For its profit is better than silver, and its gain than fine gold. She is more precious than jewels, and nothing you desire compares with her. Riches can, however, come with it. It says in verse 16, long life is in her right hand, and in her left hand are riches and honor. But notice this is a threefold blessing: long life, riches, and honor. Taking care of your body's health is a manner of wisdom. Other elements of wisdom are taking care of your finances, being financially responsible. Now, these things aren't the most enjoyable things. It's funner to just go spend the money and enjoy the money that you make. But by saving money, you do better with that money in the long haul. And then there are two final blessings in this: pleasantness and peace. It says in verse 17, her ways are pleasant ways, and all of her paths are peace. Now, the second section is a brief argument that the writer makes that God created the universe through wisdom. Verse 19 through 20 says, the Lord by wisdom founded the earth, and by understanding established the heavens. By his knowledge the deeps were broken up, and the skies dripped with dew. If you study science, you know how complex the world is. It is kind of baffling that so many scientists walk away with this idea that it came out of nothing. Because we don't look at a building and think it came out of nothing. No, it's like we look at a building and we can see the architectural genius behind the person who made it. We can see how the mind understood gravity, how he understood structure, how he understood wind pressure and all that stuff. The tallest building in the world is a building called the Burj Khalifa. It is an interesting shape where it has all these twists and winds and stuff like that. And the reason for that is because of the wind. A building that tall, if it was just a flat face, then the wind would topple it over. It is aerodynamic just like a car. However, whereas a car is aerodynamic because it's moving through the wind, the building is aerodynamic because the wind is moving through it. We can look at architecture and know it was by wisdom that the creator made what they made. So too, we can also look at the material world and know that it was a massive amount of wisdom that it took to make that. And one of the finest arguments for God's existence is called the fine-tuning argument. Now, there are some rumors that if the earth was 1 inch closer to the sun, it would be too hot, and if it was 1 inch further from the sun, it would be too cold. This is not accurate. However, there are many other properties in science, specifically in the microsciences, that if you change a property by the slightest, most incremental amount, then you would have a universe that won't be able to exist at all. For example, the expansion rate of the universe, that says that the universe is expanding at a constant rate. If that expansion rate was just ever so slightly slower, then the universe would have collapsed in on itself after the Big Bang. If it was ever so slightly faster, then the particles that make up the universe would have blown out too far, too fast, to be able to form basic properties like atoms. And there are many of these properties like this, giving merit to the fine-tuning argument. Now, verse 21 starts our third section, and it piggybacks off of the end of 17, in that it addresses the blessings of peace from wisdom. So then you will walk in your way securely, and your foot will not stumble. There is peace, there is confidence, there is assurance in walking in a wise path. There are people who are constantly living in fear of being found out for doing something. Why? Because they know that they've done something wrong. Living in wisdom and following your God-given conscience will protect you from having that kind of lifestyle. You don't have to cover up anything. Now, of course, we have all made mistakes that we would rather keep secret, but the severity of those mistakes can vary drastically. The final section on this is concluding thoughts on some principles in life. This is just kind of a rapid-fire list of things not to do. Verses 27, do not withhold good to those to whom it is due, when it is in your power to do so. Do not say to your neighbor, go and come back, and tomorrow I will give it, when you have it with you. And what this is talking about is just when something is rightfully somebody else's, don't withhold it from them. If you're borrowing something from somebody else and they ask, hey man, I need this back, give it back to them. It's theirs. Verse 29, do not devise harm against your neighbor while he lives securely beside you. Do not contend with a man without cause if he has done you no harm. And again, this is just a sense of living peaceably with people. Do not just cause harm to people without reason. I mean, even with reason, you don't want to just cause harm to people. But do not just look at somebody and just look at ways to take advantage of them. This is a whole concept of treat others as you would want to be treated yourself. Live in peace with your neighbor, as he is part of your tribe, a part of your kinsman. Verse 31, do not envy a man of violence, and do not choose any of his ways. For the crooked man is an abomination to the Lord, but he is intimate with the upright. This reminds me of one of my favorite passages in the Bible, Psalm 73. Psalm 73 is a compound passage It starts off kind of rough. Surely God is good to Israel, to those who are pure in heart. But as for me, my feet came close to stumbling. My steps had almost slipped. For I was envious of the arrogant, as I saw the prosperity of the wicked. So the author Asaph is looking at these people who are just really prospering off of doing wicked things. And they make off with it. They prosper through it. And so Asaph gets angry. He's jealous. He's angry at God. Why are you allowing these people, these wicked people, to prosper so much? Jump down to verse 13. Surely in vain I have kept my heart pure and washed my hands in innocence. I have been stricken all day long and chastened every morning. So he's saying, in contrast to these wicked people who are really prospering, things aren't going well for me. I'm suffering. I'm hurting. And why? Because I have done a more innocent lifestyle. I have sacrificed things, trusting God you would provide something better for me. And it didn't work out. Why? Why are wicked people prospering so much and I'm not? Now let's jump back to verse 2. But as for me, my feet came close to stumbling. My steps had almost slipped, for I was envious of the arrogant. See, this envy of this prosperity of the wicked people caused him to be tempted. It says in verse 15, if I had said, I will speak as they do, behold, I would have betrayed the generation of your children. When I pondered this, it was troublesome in my sight. He's tempted to pick up the ways of these wicked people because he sees their prosperity. It's because he's envious of the arrogant that he's tempted in that way. And so in this verse says, do not envy a man of violence or choose any of his ways. It's catching that thought right at the beginning. Before you're tempted to pick up on these people's ways, do not even envy their prosperity. Now 73 ends beautifully. As Asaph is looking at the prosperity of these wicked, he has a change in perspective. Surely you set them in slippery places. You cast them down to destruction. How they are destroyed in a moment and utterly swept away by sudden terrors. Or, as said in Proverbs 3, verse 32, for the crooked man is an abomination to the Lord, but he is intimate with the upright. Or in 34, though he scoff at scoffer, he gives grace to the afflicted. So wicked people will prosper for a time, but they will not inherit true blessings from God. In time, God will flip the switch and pour out his wrath on them. So do not envy their blessings and their prosperity that they collect for themselves through schemes and wickedness. God's got wrath storing up for them, not blessings. However, he has blessings storing up for the righteous. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I encourage you to continue reading. This book really is life. Take care and God bless. Right this way.